watching this, it is side dish week again this week, and I'm so excited. But before I get to my side dish, I want to send a heartfelt congratulations to the 6 finalists that are currently headed to Savannah, Georgia. Ladies, I tip my hat to you. Congratulations. And I just want you to know that I'm really excited for you as you embark upon this new adventure. So for the rest of us, the show must go on, and we've got 4 more weeks here. And like I said, this is side dish week again, and I'm really excited because I have a side dish that I created a couple of years ago. Just kind of trial and error. I had gone to the farmer's market and had purchased a lot of green beans, and through my abundance of green beans, I kind of was thinking about soups for some reason, and realized that there were no like creamy green bean soups. And so I kind of started playing around with my ingredients and stumbled upon just a really good vegetable soup that has green beans, potatoes. I'm going to put some zucchini in because last year I made the soup for Father's Day, and I had been given a huge zucchini, and I didn't know what to do with some of it, so I threw it in the soup, and it turned out to just be a very delicious light soup, something to accompany your meats, your grilled meats, or whatever it is that you're making that day. But it is delicious. So I want to get started. What I did already is I sauteed some bacon here. I've got it, it's crisp. I put it on this plate to drain, just so I don't get all that extra grease, and we'll use that later. The next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to start my burner on medium heat. I left the bacon grease in here with some of the olive oil, and then I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter, so I don't need that much in there. We're going to put the butter in. And then what I need to do is I've got some garlic here all chopped up, so I'm going to put this garlic in there as well. One of the things about this dish that I like is that you can use those farmer's market garden greens if you want, or you can purchase them at the store. Sometimes I've used frozen green beans. But it's just a real fun dish to make. When we made this last year for Father's Day for my dad, the kids came up with all sorts of green names like swamp soup and probably some others that you probably don't want to hear. But it was really, they had a lot of fun with it, coming up with different names. But even the kids liked it because they actually didn't have to sit down and eat green beans and zucchini. They had it in the soup, and so it made it a little bit more enjoyable. So we're going to saute this garlic here for a couple minutes. Okay, you don't want it to get brown. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 4 cups, about 3.5 cups of chicken broth to the soup here. And then I've got some green onions, about 3 green onions. We're going to put that in to add a little flavor. I've got my zucchini. And that's about 3 cups of zucchini. Some fresh green beans here. And red potatoes. Now, when I use the red potatoes, I like to leave the skin on for this soup, because when we go to puree it in the end, you see the soup is obviously going to be green because you have green beans in there, but then you see the little flecks of the red from the red potatoes, so don't peel these, keep them, the skin on, get those in there. Okay, now we are going to let this sit, a little bit more in there, we're going to let this sit for probably about 15 to 20 minutes. We're going to bring it to a boil first. Heat down, let it cook until all the vegetables are fork tender, which shouldn't take too long if you chop them up nice and small. And let that go. One of the things in coming into side dish this week, I really kind of sat down and thought about the contest. Thought about the product that we're using, the Philadelphia cream cheese, and I really didn't know that much about Philadelphia cream cheese as far as where it came from. And so I sat down and I looked up the Philadelphia website on how cream cheese came to be about, and I saw that a man named William Lawrence actually created Philadelphia cream cheese. So I wasn't sure where this guy came from, so I went and I looked and discovered by Googling his name that he actually created Philadelphia cream cheese purely by accident. What he was trying to do is he was trying to create the Neufchâtel cheese, which is the French soft cheese, and I thought that was just so fascinating that in trying to take the initiative and create something on his own. He actually came up with something that was better. And that's kind of how I felt about this soup, is I was taking some ingredients that I had, I was trying to use them in a different way and come up with something, and actually end up creating something in the long run that my whole family loved. Today then, my Philadelphia cream cheese product is the Neufchâtel cheese, which is the third less fat cheese. So we're going to be putting that in our soup a little bit later. But I'm going to let this boil. I'm going to grab some coffee and get the rest of my ingredients ready, and we'll see you in a little bit. As you can see, our soup is all done. I took it off the stove and I checked all the vegetables, just gave them a poke with a fork, make sure they were tender enough. And what I did is I put it in this heat-resistant glass bowl, because what we need to do now is we need to puree this so it's nice and smooth. Now, what I usually do when I puree in the blender is I take the cap out of my lid and I cover this with a towel, because the heat from the soup wants to come through. And if you don't do that, believe me, I've done that, it splatters everywhere and it makes a mess because that heat wants to come out. So go ahead and put some of this in there. I'm going to puree all my soup. When all this is pureed, I'm going to stick it back in my pot, and we'll meet you back at the stove in a couple. Okay, that's the last batch. Pour that in. All right, now we're ready to go over and let this sit for a couple minutes while we get our bowls all ready to go, and then we're going to taste test. So as you can see, I've returned all of the pureed soup back to my pot here. It is a gorgeous green, just a nice bright green, and it looks delicious. So what I need to put in next is my salt, my pepper, my dried thyme, and my fresh parsley. And then we're saving the best for last, Philadelphia Neufchâtel cream cheese. Make this today in honor of the man who brought us all to this place, William Lawrence. So we're going to put that in. Now we're going to give this a stir. We're just going to let the cream cheese melt. It'll take about 2 to 3 minutes. Look at how beautiful green. You see the cheese starting to incorporate in there. So we're just going to let this sit here and simmer for about another 5 minutes, and then we're going to plate it up. So here are some cups of our creamy vegetable soup. I topped it with some plain yogurt. I just put it in a little baggie and swirled it on there. I put some of the bacon that we crisped up to begin with. And then I'm just going to sprinkle some basil, some fresh basil right on top. Basil is best served fresh. So we're just going to dollop a little bit of that on there. And look at how gorgeous those look. All right, now that you've seen the finished product, I get to taste test it. I love the little flecks of the red from the red potato in there too. It is so creamy. It's kind of a tangy creamy, but the bacon is just barely crisp, and so it just adds a great little flavor and texture. This soup is so good. I'll tell you, I've had so much fun, and I've loved learning about the Kraft Company, learning about the Philadelphia cream cheese and where that came from. And I really have a new appreciation for all the hard work those men, James L. Kraft and William Lawrence, really put into their companies, and I appreciate it. So thank you so much, Philadelphia cream cheese, for this great opportunity. Thank you, Miss Paula, for this wonderful opportunity. I look forward to 3 more weeks. Have a great day.